Hey, this is Marco from Handyman Solutions. In today's video, we're going to install a pedestal sink in a small bathroom, and I'm gonna walk you through the process step by step. Let's jump right into it. The current setup is as follows. We have the plumbing, and then we got the light up here. We have outlet, so we want to install the pedestal sink. And to get that going, we have to first get to the sink. Alright, so we got the sink, and then we got the stand right over here. And we're gonna walk you quickly through the tools we need. So we will need some silicone, we need a ratchet, and for this application here we can use lag bolts with the washer. And just because when the bathroom has been remodeled, there was actually a board nailed between the studs, so especially for this application, so we should have enough surface area. And then we need a level, the laser level as well, to find the middle, and a tape, of course, a pencil. So the first thing I want to do is I want to find the middle of the sink. I already did that. So we got somewhere at 17, so we come off 18 and a half. 8.5 for that. And then I show you quickly the back side. So we have those two slots here, and what we're gonna do is we're then gonna use those lag bolts. They basically come through here and then go into the wall and secure it. And then we also have the stand where we'll go over here, and the stand will then basically also carry some of the weight. So as I said, we prepped the sink, so now we go over here into the bathroom, and we want to line up the sink into the middle of the drain, so somewhere, something like that, so as good as we can. Okay, so and then we're gonna use a tape. We'll place that here, and we'll mark the middle. Okay, so this will then help us determine where the sink goes. And I already marked where I'm gonna drill the holes, but because I want to walk you through the process, I have not done anything else. So next we're gonna get the stand in place. So also accordingly, we got the manual here as we usually do, and we have piece A and piece B. And what we're gonna do, we already can skip everything and go to step 3, which will be those holes. And they also ask us to secure basically the stand to the floor, but we're not gonna do that right now because we don't have the plumbing yet. So gonna place that somewhere in front of it and get the sink. So we're gonna place the sink on the stand, something like that, and then we want to make sure it sits on that stand. And then we're gonna move everything back, and then as you can see, we want to make sure it's centered. Okay, and then we want to make sure it's also level. Then we need a small pencil or a short pencil. We can go in those, remember the holes I showed you before. And then we're gonna basically mark both sides, and then we're gonna remove the whole setup. So now we got those traced out. We want to make sure that we place it somewhere in the middle. So I can move it to the left, to the right, and up and down for a little bit. And also the weight does not fully sit on the bolt, it actually then really sits on the stand. And I'm gonna pre-drill those holes, and we have to make sure, so we can already see, so we got some plumbing coming up here. I know that from the installation we have, you know, they extended the plumbing and then they capped it off about somewhere in that area here, but I think we should be good. So let me pre-drill that, and as I said before, there is a blocking installed. I think it comes probably down to about here. We should be able to drill right into the blocking. So there is not a whole lot of forgiveness in that, because once it's pre-drilled it's very hard to move it around. So I'm gonna pre-drill those holes now. Just wanna make sure. And I basically pre-drilled that because I don't want that to yank through everything. So it will definitely help going through. If we pre-thread the holes into the wall, it will be much easier for us once we are hanging the sink to the wall, because we already have made the threads for the lag bolts. So now I get the base back. And I just basically use the base as something I can put it on. And of course, we want to make sure that we don't over torque those nuts, those bolts. And now I should be able just to go in here, and then I'm gonna pull it back a bit. Now I should be able to see the holes, which is pre-made, so I can get it started by hand. Okay, and where is the other bolt? Okay, and as I said, since we already pre-drilled and pre-threaded everything, we are in a very good shape. We can just make sure it's still in the middle. Okay, so now we're gonna just keep tightening those bolts. Let's go and have a look. I hope the rest fits. I hope you can see the two bolts sticking out here. Okay, so we got it in place. Now we're gonna check the middle. It's actually spot on. And then we're gonna check and see if it's level. Oh, that's how you place. Yeah, it's a little bit how we placed that. Yeah, so this is as it's supposed to be. And now we can tighten. We don't want to over tight them, but we want to tighten them as much as enough. You know, we're gonna feel and it's enough. Okay, that's probably good. Good, so since we have the stand underneath, so the next thing, or basically the final thing is we're gonna do is we need to caulk around here, or silicone around here. We also want to put a bit of silicone here, so what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna push that up a bit and put a nice bead underneath, and then, but since we have to install the plumbing anyway, we're not worried too much, but they ask us to drill 2 holes on the back here and secure the base to the floor. That's what we're gonna do later as well, but for the first part, this is how you install the pedestal sink. So this was the first part, how to install the pedestal sink. As you can see, it's not such a big undertaking. So for the first part, I think the most important is to get it centered and level, and then pre-drill the holes just to make sure there's nothing behind it, so we don't want to punch any vents or any water lines. Then pre-thread it so that it's much easier to, once you put everything in place, to screw it to the wall. So thank you for watching for part 1, and then we're gonna go to part 2. Okay, welcome back to part 2 of the pedestal sink installation. And what we're gonna do today is we're gonna install the base. We installed already the bowl. In the meantime, we got our faucet in. We installed the drain, the supply lines. So the only thing which is left is basically the stand here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna need the silicone. So we're gonna clean. I already cleaned the floor here. What we wanna do next is we bring that stand over. Alright, so I'm gonna put a bead of silicone here, which then the bowl will rest on it. And on the underside, so there are different ways you can do that. You can also get some silicone here so that it stays in its place. Those two holes are actually to mount it, but I'm not really a fan of drilling into the floor and mount those, so I'll leave them for now. And I think once the sink will rest on here, we should be good, because it has a lip here. So as you can see, I think we should be good. So we're gonna dry fit it again. So I think this will look nice. Again, as I said, this piece does not go anywhere. Let's move it back forward, apply the silicone, and then we should be good. So yeah, just apply here a bead of silicone. Okay, so I'm gonna clean the underside quickly. Again, I like to use the alcohol. Okay, so pull that up. Okay, so here we go. Then I clean that up. That's enough. Good enough. So I'm gonna let that dry. I lined it up, made sure it is where it's supposed to be, and then once we did the leak test tomorrow, we're gonna apply a bead of silicone over here and then one down here, and that will be then finished. But for now we have to wait till that silicone is dry. So we're gonna finish that tomorrow. But as of now, it looks very nice. Okay, today we are gonna finish, and we're gonna put the bead of silicone down here, make it look nice, and also one up here. And I'm gonna have some soapy water here, and we're gonna use the same silicone as we used already up here, and because we still have some left. So one thing, we want to make sure we cut our nozzle in about a 45-degree angle, and then we're gonna put it on here and then just pressing the lever, you know, the same time as we move, same rate. Okay, so now I'm using my finger. You can use other tools if you want, but I figured over the years that the finger does the best job, honestly. We just want to go around here. We don't want to be too wet, but it will make a very nice smooth. We don't want to have too much water, otherwise it gets milky. that around the corner. All right. So we have a little bit an imperfection here. For that I'm trying, well, sometimes it works very well. I'm just trying to use a little screwdriver and push that back, but of course I don't have it in my pocket. Let me get the little screwdriver. So yes, you can argue if this is necessary, that seal down here. I think it's just for appearance, and I just don't like this. This goes here into the groove. I'm just trying to push it back here a bit, just like that. So just, and then we're gonna go up here. So up here it's just literally adding another layer. You know, you can think of a little bit of glue. Silicone has a good characteristic of bonding, and this definitely helps up here to keep that in place, since you're not going to screw that to the floor. And we just also, for appearance, move that silicone up here. This has no sealing function, but it will help bond our stand to the basin. So, and I think if somebody gonna go and inspect it down here, they will find also a nice speed. So it's nice, looks good to me. So there's only one thing left, and we have to do that unfortunately a little bit later. So we also have to put some silicone back here, but I would like to have one which is paintable. This one is not, so I just think if the bathroom needs to be repainted, we just want to make sure we can then paint also over the silicone if necessary. Okay, so that was for today. Sealing, apply silicone, and yeah, this is sturdy now, doesn't go anywhere. Okay, thank you for watching for today. See you next week.